Hi, today we're going to talk about the type of materials needed for making funky loopy bows. First of all, let me show you an example of a finished funky loopy bow, like the kind we'll be making here in class. This is a 4-loop bow with 3 filler groups, only in the center. There are none at the tail ends. Okay, and here is an example of the materials that go into making one just like this. I usually cut 3 of each material, and I rarely deviate from this. I almost always have 7 flat fillers. So here are my 7 flat fillers, and then I'll have 4 to 6 corkers. Okay, so the combination of flat fillers doesn't change that often either, and it always gives predictable results. I mean, you can vary it up a little bit, but if you stick with this basic formula, you can always kind of predict the fullness. And you always want to get a full bow, and you always want to have a bow that has enough fillers and not too little or not too many. So sticking with this formula, at least while you're learning, is a good idea. Okay, so the formula is, I usually use 2 wide width fillers, 2 middle width fillers, and 2 narrow width fillers. And then I finish it off with something roughly like this elastic trim. And then we have our corkers here. Okay, so let's talk about the wide width fillers first. I use a double ruffle satin, and there's 2 different varieties you can get. This is the one from Hobby Lobby, and then here's the one from Ribbons and Bows Oh My. There's really no difference except for this one's just a little stiffer and maybe a little bit wider, but it's the same thing. And then the next wide width material would be the sheer elastic. You can get that at Hobby Lobby, and that's where this is all from. Looks like this. Or you can get it online at the Ribbon Retreat. They have a lot more colors than Hobby Lobby has. Okay, and then our middle width materials, I usually use a 5/8 inch satin, and you can get it really cheap at Ribbons and Bows Oh My, or you can just use some that you find at the craft store. In this case, I did find this cute Easter egg print. I'm not using it this time, but it's great for Easter bows, and you know, you'll find that for every holiday. Or once in a while I'll vary it up, and I don't use that much grosgrain in these bows, and you really shouldn't either. But I did find this cute 5/8 inch kind of scalloped edge grosgrain. It's still really thin, but it is grosgrain, and I can use that in place of my 5/8 inch satin at times. And then my other middle width material is this poly mesh, which you can't typically find in stores. You can find it online at Really Reasonable Ribbon. It comes at 1.5 inches wide, but you do cut it in half. So if you buy, say, like 3 yards of it, you really have 6 yards of it because you're going to cut it in half lengthwise. Okay, and then our narrow width materials here, I just have a piece of grosgrain, just with dots. And then I have a glitter satin. But, I mean, there's so many different things you can use there. So many fun things you can use in place of those. You can use this little grosgrain that they have on these little spools here at Hobby Lobby and other craft stores. You can use this velvet glitter. That's really cute. There's also this 3/8 inch double ruffle satin that they sell at Ribbons and Bows Oh My that I use sometimes, and also there's rickrack trim. But there's more things you can use in place. I mean, just use something that's durable and that can be heat sealed, that's not going to fray too much, and something that's going to look nice and neat. Okay, and then finally the ruffles. I almost always use this trim. It's elasticy and you can find it at Hobby Lobby or Reasonable Ribbon. And it looks just like this on the roll. And then finally, of course, our corker cut to 3 inches. All the fillers here are cut to 4 inches. And then you just roll this yourself. That will be another video. So that's basically it. You need to have at least, again, 7 to 8 flat fillers, 4 to 6 corkers, and you need to cut everything times 3. So for instance, there's 12 filler types of materials times 3. You'll need to have 36 fillers altogether in order to get this type of fullness for your belt.